What if I told you I could get you a little quicker with some agility work? A lot of stuff in our game involves you being able to move your feet. One of the most important things, right? There's even a saying called slow feet don't eat. You got to be able to move your feet. You got to be able to constantly keep your body underneath for you, keep your legs underneath for you so you can have some type of balance, right? So we're going to do a little bit of a movement here to get you quicker, get you more explosive and more accelerative when you're going after somebody or when you're attacking space. All right, bear with me. To start off with, we're just going to move normally. Whichever way we're moving, you're going to move with that right leg is going to go over the hurdle. But the movement starts here with the hoop. You're on both sides. Basically, nice and low, bending our knee. As one foot goes in and out, the other foot goes up and down. All right? Now, when we start moving like this, once you hear a switch, or you can go for about 10 seconds and then switch on your own. Once you go from there, the acceleration is going to involve 2 steps back in order to go forward to make you more explosive. All right, we want to have our body and our feet underneath, or want to have our feet underneath our body as much as we can to give us more explosiveness as well as balance. All right, so as I start, nice and quick. Then we switch, nice and quick. Then we switch, nice and quick. Now at this point, you switch 3 times, right? So now, boom, boom, it's a nice little sprint and back pedal. Get our feet nice and quick underneath of us, then we work again. Switch, boom, nice and quick. Go switch, nice and quick. Try not to stare at your feet. In our game, you don't look down often, all right? Got to be able to have vision surrounding you, being able to see the field, being able to see where you're going as you're moving. Switch. Switch. Go. Then we're back. And that's time. All right, guys, for the second movement, it's going to be a little different. Now, when we're going across, it's going to be the opposite leg going over the hurdle first. We're going to work on our hips being able to rotate as we move. We want to try to keep our body as straight as we can, right? Because it's more about your hip movement than anything else. It's going to be one of the most important parts in our sport, right? Being able to move, keeping your feet underneath of you, but also being able to rotate your hips to keep up with turns, keep up with defending, keep up with being able to attack and changing directions. So we're going to work a little bit on that now, right? Same thing, nice simple movement, up and down, in and out, all right? The sprints are going to stay the same. You're about 3-4 steps away from the hoops and hurdle. Now, as we go throughout, you want to push yourself. Try to get your arms involved as much as you can. Now, on the switch, you want to hit nice and quick. Same thing on the other side. On the switch, want to hit. Now, on the go, same thing. Nice quick steps. Then we're back. Boom. Working again. Nice and quick on the switch. Boom. Make sure to get that drive. It's not about the jump. It's more about bringing that hip around. Nice and quick. Move your feet. Now we're back. All right, guys. For the third movement, right? Same concept as before. This time, it's more of a front drive. And again, want to concentrate upper body being as straight as much as we can. Lower body bent slightly. When we drive, want to turn our hip so our foot has to turn and face the other way as we come across, right? This is us getting us ready to be able to accelerate out, right? Or being able to cross over to follow somebody or attacking that space as quick as we can. All right, how it looks, want to go nice and quick. On the switch this time, it's going to be a drive. Should be even as much as possible where you land right into the hoop. Switch, nice and quick drive. Same thing on the go. We got to keep this football movement up as much as we can. Drive. That's a couple second movement here. Drive. Nice and quick. On the go. Boom. And we're back. Then we start working again. Switch. Drive. Turn that hip. Upper body stays upright much as you can. Then we're back. All right, guys. For the fourth movement, we're working more on the lateral movement, right? Being able to shuffle, right? Keeping up with people, getting in front of them without having to necessarily turn right away, right? With those lateral movements, it becomes easier to dribble too when you need to beat somebody to the side, right? Or just break away with a yard or two of space, right? So I'm gonna show you now how that goes. First, movement stays the same. This time, we've taken the sprint away from it. So it's just gonna be that lateral movement back and forth, doing our footwork. We wanna make sure we get our feet shoulder width apart. Doesn't make sense if we're here because we're giving up a whole lot of balance, but it also doesn't make sense if we're here because then our legs aren't underneath of us as much, right? So shoulder width apart to keep everything even and balanced. Then we're gonna start moving nice and quick. Remember, we wanna try to avoid looking down the whole time. It's okay if you look down, but make sure you bring that head back up once in a while, right? You wanna be able to see the field, you wanna be able to work without staring at your feet, right? So as we start here, now on the switch, nice quick movement back, to the side, forward. Then we work, switch, boom, nice and quick. What we don't wanna see is you crossing. So whatever way you're going, that foot has to lead you. Nice and quick. Better with mini steps than just jumping as well. All right, for the fifth movement, it's gonna be a little jumping involved with the lateral movements that we were just doing, right? Again, this is kind of working on our explosiveness as well as keeping our feet nice and quick, right? As we land, we wanna land softly, but then we wanna start work right away. We wanna be quick, right? So it's not about planting your feet. You don't wanna be a tree here, right? You wanna keep the feet moving as much as possible. One thing I forgot to mention as well is when we're working, we wanna stay on the balls of our feet, meaning where our toes and our feet connect, those knuckles right there to our toes. We wanna stay on those, just getting our heels off the ground slightly. Doesn't have to be all the way up here on the tippy toes or anything like that. Just getting off your heel as much as you can, which then automatically bends your knee and makes you nice and athletic. All right, so how it starts here, we wanna get the jumps involved with the lateral movement. This time you got two types of lateral movement. We're going underneath first, popping back on the first switch, then we start working again. Then we go over top on the lateral movement and backwards, then we jump twice and we start a movement over there. You wanna try to do a series of 4 to get through. 2 on one side, 2 on the other, to even it out as much as you can, all right? So how it looks right now, we'll start nice and quick. As we move, avoid looking down as much as you can, but it's okay if you do, right? Just make sure you get your head back up. Now on the switch, nice and quick, then we pop nice and soft. And we start working again, right? This time on the second switch, we're going above, switch, pop, pop, and we start working. Notice how I'm staying as light as I can on my toes, staying on the balls of my feet, knees bent nice and solid, keeping my balance, keeping my legs nice and strong and active. Pop, now start working. This time I'm going ball, boom, pop, pop, now start working again. Again on the switch, boom, lateral, pop, and start working. On the switch again, boom, pop, 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 start working. Switch, boom, pop, start working. Switch again, boom, 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 and you're done. All right, guys, well, since you stuck around for a little while, I want to give you a bonus video just to get some extra work in, get your movement up and running, and then get you moving as much as possible. If you like what you've seen so far, please go ahead and like and subscribe to the channel, and let's get started, all right? The bonus video will start on the outside this time, right? The goal is to work across with some jumps in between the hurdles and the hoops, all right? So we start off, no more fast feet. We're just gonna be working across the whole time, all right? So how it's gonna look, we're gonna go nice and quick, pop, 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 nice and quick, pop, 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 nice and quick, pop, 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 nice and quick, nice and quick. We want to try to move as quick as we can. Stay as light as we can. And time.